A new beginning. We open with Detective James Carter in Los Angeles, wearing an expensive suit and showing off his new promotion. But instead of chasing bad guys, he's stuck behind a desk doing paperwork and attending dull press conferences. Carter tries to spice things up by turning even traffic violation cases into big investigations, but his captain scolds him for being childish. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, Inspector Lee has retired from active duty after years of nonstop action. He now teaches martial arts to young cadets at the police academy, living a quiet life, though it's clear he misses the thrill of the chase. An international incident shakes things up. In Los Angeles, masked assassins attack a Chinese consulate convoy, killing guards and leaving diplomats injured. The FBI suspects the involvement of the Red Phoenix Triad, a powerful criminal organization with global reach. The U.S. government calls Carter in for local cooperation, while the Hong Kong authorities ask Lee to consult. This forces the duo back together. Their reunion is awkward but full of laughs. Carter hugs Lee dramatically, while Lee remains stoic, already regretting his decision. Once together, their personalities clash immediately. Carter is loud, overconfident, and constantly joking, while Lee remains calm, focused, and serious. At a strategy meeting, Carter interrupts with wild theories and snacks loudly, embarrassing Lee. When a clue surfaces, an assassin's tattoo linked to a Hong Kong syndicate, Carter insists on following the street instincts, while Lee insists on a systematic investigation. This foreshadows their classic buddy cop dynamic of chaos and order. The investigation leads them to a Chinatown safe house in LA. As soon as they arrive, assassins ambush them. Lee uses his martial arts mastery to neutralize attackers, while Carter causes slapstick chaos, firing at the ceiling, falling through tables, and screaming while accidentally taking out one assassin with a fire extinguisher. A wild car chase follows through downtown Los Angeles. Carter insists on driving, resulting in crashes, honking, and him yelling at pedestrians, while he calmly fights assassins in the moving car. They barely escape alive. From a captured assassin's phone, Lee finds encrypted messages pointing to a planned arms deal in Paris. Reluctantly, Carter agrees to go international again, but not before demanding a first-class flight. On the plane, Carter annoys Lee by singing loudly, flirting with flight attendants, and complaining about the lack of fried chicken on the menu. Lee tries to meditate through the chaos. Once in Paris, their cultural clash comedy continues. Carter mispronounces French words, insults the food, and argues with taxi drivers. Lee remains focused, tracing contacts through Chinatown and Paris. When they try to meet an informant at the Eiffel Tower, Interpol agents mistake them for criminals after Carter borrows a moped and crashes into a barricade. After chaotic arguments, Interpol reluctantly allows them to assist. The duo meets Isabella Duval, a glamorous but mysterious French agent with possible ties to Interpol. Carter falls head over heels instantly, delivering cheesy pickup lines, while Lee warns him to stay focused. Isabella provides intel that the Red Phoenix Triad plans to target a UN peace summit in Paris. She offers to help, but Lee doesn't trust her motives, while Carter insists she's my French soulmate. To gather intel, the team goes undercover at a luxurious Paris nightclub. Carter, dressed in flashy clothes, thinks he's James Bond, but quickly embarrasses himself by misusing French phrases. Meanwhile, Lee spots assassins blending in with the crowd. A huge brawl breaks out on the dance floor, blending martial arts with dance moves, as Lee skillfully fights while Carter accidentally takes out bad guys with champagne bottles and a disco ball. The Triad plants explosives at the UN building during a peace summit. Lee discovers the bomb first, trying to defuse it while Carter panics and screams at diplomats to run for their lives. They barely manage to stop the detonation, but the Triad leader escapes. The chaos damages their reputation, with Interpol furious that the duo caused so much destruction in Paris. Lee finally sees the Triad leader clearly, Han Wu, the son of a close friend from his police past. Years ago, Lee and Han's father worked together, but Han believes Lee betrayed him, leading to his father's death. Han has now risen to power in the underworld, blaming Lee and targeting everything he values. Lee is shaken, while Carter tries to lighten the mood with jokes, failing to realize how personal this is for his partner. Carter insists on storming Han's base and ending this like Rambo, but Lee refuses, torn by his emotional connection. The two argue, leading to a temporary split. Carter complains to himself about always being the funny sidekick, while he questions whether he can take Han down. Their bond is tested, showing cracks in their friendship. Clues lead them to Dubai, where the triad is using luxury trade routes to smuggle weapons disguised as jewelry shipments. The duo infiltrates a desert convoy. A spectacular car chase erupts across sand dunes, with Carter forced onto a camel after losing their car. While Carter screams in terror, Lee performs acrobatics on speeding jeeps, knocking out triad soldiers. The desert chase ends in explosions and chaos, becoming the film's biggest comedic action set piece. They regroup with Isabella, who reveals new intel about Han's smuggling network. However, it's revealed she has been secretly working with the triad all along, using the duo to eliminate her competition. She betrays Carter during a private meeting, drugging him and handing him over to Han's men. Carter, tied up in a Dubai prison compound, annoys his guards with non-stop jokes and singing. His antics spark a full-blown prisoner riot after he convinces the inmates to join him and escape. Lee sneaks in to save him, but Carter, still tied up, accidentally knocks over guards and blows up fuel tanks. The escape sequence is equal parts thrilling and ridiculous. Lee uncovers the real story. Han's father wasn't betrayed by Lee. It was another corrupt police official who covered it up. Han has lived with lies his entire life. When Lee tries to explain, Han rejects the truth, saying revenge is the only thing that matters. This sets up the inevitable final confrontation. The Red Phoenix plans its ultimate strike in Hong Kong, targeting an international economic summit with a massive bomb. Lee and Carter return to Lee's homeland, where Lee reconnects with old police allies. Carter, meanwhile, tries to adapt to Hong Kong culture, but constantly embarrasses himself at street markets and temples. The climax begins with the duo chasing the triad through neon-lit Hong Kong streets, markets, and skyscrapers. Carter gets stuck in hilarious situations, crashing a rickshaw, fighting off-street vendors, while he engages in breathtaking martial arts battles. The action builds toward the rooftop of a skyscraper, where Han awaits. Carter finally proves his worth. While Lee battles Han, Carter manages to track down the triad's bomb detonation system. In a rare serious moment, Carter uses clever improvisation to disable it, cutting wires with shaky hands, but succeeding just in time. For once, Carter saves the day, shocking Lee and boosting his own confidence. Lee and Han engage in a dramatic rooftop fight, mixing emotional dialogue with brutal martial arts. Lee refuses to kill Han, telling him revenge won't bring peace. Ultimately, Lee defeats Han but spares his life, allowing him to be arrested. Han, broken but alive, swears revenge, setting up possible sequels. With the mission over, Carter and Lee relax on a busy Hong Kong street. Carter brags loudly that he was the real hero, while Lee remains calm and silent. Their banter turns into a funny argument as they walk into the crowd. Carter tries to imitate Kung Fu. Lee shakes his head, and they exit like the classic duo they've always been. The credits roll over bloopers as tradition.